arguing with Surefan Otaku on Twitter, and you guys will probably appreciate it because I'm going to have that conversation shown to you guys. See what you think, if I lost the debate or not, because he believes that I ran away from debates. Debate me, bro. Anyway, welcome to the show. How's it going? We're going to be talking about right-wing cancel culture today. Shut up, V. No one cares about what you have to say. Let me spread this around a little bit. Where's here we go. Yeah, so yesterday, all of a sudden, I see left-wing people care about free speech, and that was like shocking. It's like, really? Do leftists care about free speech? What happened? Yeah, did they read some Loki? Did Sargon of Akkad from the past came around with Loki and was like, you guys should read? No, turns out that Jimmy Kimmel was fired. I don't know their names. Like, they all look the same to me. American comedians, I mean. Very funny guys. All dressed in suits. Did you notice that? Like, if you're a comedian, if you're a clown, like, don't you want to dress in a funny way? Do you want to make some faces? Why would you dress in a suit? Like, there's nothing funny about seeing a guy in a suit. Unless it's a person you hate and he's in a coffin. See, I can make comedy. They can't make comedy. I know they can't make comedy because I seen them during COVID. Right? Like when all of the showmanship is gone, when you don't have like the crowd that does the applause, when you don't have like the back music, and you don't have the studio, and it's like literally them in front of a camera, they're not very funny. Do you remember the Pope? Holy shit, hold on, like there is a picture of the Pope with the comedians. It's one of the most cringe things that I have ever seen. Let me see if I can. Oh, is this the one? Hold on. It was a very famous picture. I don't know why it's hard to find, because like you would think such a successful picture would be on the top search results. But no, the only thing that I can find is, oh, here we go. Like, no, we found it. When the Pope meets comedians. And here we have, right, like this is a comedian, I understand, and you know they're comedians because they're smiling. Okay? So, my God. Why would the Pope, can you imagine this in a medieval time? It's like when the Pope meets the jesters. And the reality is, well, it's because they're not comedians, right? Like, they're opinion influencers. If you watch comedians, they're pretty much like the modern version of the Pope. And in the sense, like, I was forced to watch the latest Jimmy Kimmel show because I have to talk on it. And I genuinely tried to laugh. Like, I was going in there with an open mind. I was like, okay, I imagine myself as a leftist. And I believe in social justice, equality, and fucking the poor. And I'm like, okay, with that mindset, is he going to say something funny? Is he going to make me laugh? Chat, at no point was there even an attempt to make a joke. Like, nothing that he said was making jokes. What he was doing was not even telling me how to think. He was telling me how to feel. Like, that's it. The entire show was like a guy in a suit struggling to explain to me how to feel about what happened. It was kind of like a sermon for left-wingers. Like, seriously, like, it was like the Democrat priest. And you join the congregation, like, no different than a televangelist, except that a televangelist would scream a little bit more. But if you manage to find your grandma's VHS cassettes, and she recorded, like, some of the America's televangelists from back in the day, you would notice that their presentation and what they were doing is pretty much similar to what Jimmy Kimmel does, except like Jimmy Kimmel doesn't sell you relics. Like, that's the only thing, right? Like, he doesn't sell you holy water. He doesn't tell you to cast out the demons. But he may sell you a book on how to cast out racism. So, like, evil racist spirits, he knows how to deal with them. Fucking Christ, check your DM streams. Alright, hold on. Give me a second. I'll check my DM streams. I was like just scared that there's something wrong with my show. But apparently the reason Lixian is upset, and I understand him because I would be upset as well, is that he's trying to send me super chats that YouTube considers problematic. And so he says, canceling is just the beginning. Everything they did to us will be done to them. Everything. Enjoy being persecuted by the government itself. And we're going to talk about this. Why is Sargon doing this? Oh, he's streaming over me? Big balls with the man to stream over me. Is he going to even get 1 subscriber if he does that? JDA79, member for 32 months. Thank you. The left spurg out is hilarious. It absolutely is. SRC Maker, debate me, bro. Obviously. You know, this is why I'm losing against Dev. Anyway, right, so. Going back to Jimmy the Kimmel. Jimmy the Kimmel got fired yesterday because he spread harmful misinformation. Now, my understanding was that the left was on board that in order to save democracy, in order to protect democracy, we have to fight against misinformation. And a lot of YouTubers and content creators got the memo, right? Like since 2020, we have been in a very difficult battle against misinformation. And many people, even journalists, doctors, content creators, everyone was fired, lost their job, got debanked for misinformation. Yes, Brian James, what's going on? And so, now, all of a sudden, the left is upset. It's like, why? Do you want misinformation to win? Are you on the side of misinformation? Do you want misinformation to dominate all of us, destroy our democracy? No, the reason is that one of the prestigious people, right? Like one of the good folk, the untouchables, one of the aristocrats got hurt. It's actually interesting. Well, see, people say it's like, I'm surprised that Kimmel didn't use the comedian card. Well, because he wasn't joking. Like, that's the thing. And when I say, like, he wasn't joking, I mean, it wasn't even an attempt to joke. Like, let me read to you what got him fired, right? And then you can see why he didn't use the comedian card. Because, like, you can... Like, if you're South Park, right? And you make, like, a joke at the expense of Charlie Kirk. And you can say, well, yeah, but, like, we're joking. And like, for some people can believe them. But the problem is, like, Jimmy Kimmel doesn't joke. He doesn't do jokes. Like, he is a comedian in name only. And I'm not saying that he does bad jokes. Like, this is what I want people to understand. It's not that he does bad jokes or jokes that I don't get. The man is like a priest. He does sermons. He doesn't joke. Like, look here, all right? Just so you can understand what I'm saying. We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang, desperately trying to characterize the kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. Look, put this into ChatGPT, right? Because, like, maybe you would say that I'm a little bit biased, or that I dislike the man, or whatever. But put it into ChatGPT, or put it into Gemini, or put it into Grok, and ask the AI, is this a joke? Like, analyze this from the perspective of a linguist, and try to say, like, is this statement a joke? Or is it something serious? Because I think, like, this is a statement of fact, right? Like, it's not a joke. A joke would have been, so Charlie Kirk got assassinated. So much for the tolerant left. But you know, like, that's a joke. Or like coming dressed up in medieval armor. It's like, hey, Jimmy, where are you going? To the fair? No, I'm going to debate a leftist. I have some minor disagreements. But you know, like, these are jokes. Okay? Now, if he done something like that, and people would have gone like, too soon. Yeah, you know, he could actually pull the comedian card and be like, motherfucker, like, I'm a comedian. This is what I do for a living. Okay? But this is not a joke. Like, this is poker face. This is like a politician sitting down and having, addressing the nation. And this is like the funny part, you know, like everything ever since they said that everything is political, actual politics have become entertainment, and actual entertainment has become political. The MAGA gang. Oh, maybe that's the joke, right? It's because it's the MAGA gang. Get it? Like, but okay, so maybe there was a joke there. It was the MAGA gang. Homosexual in a relationship with a transfer. This is also another thing, right? Is the case closed? Because, like, so far I'm looking at it, and a lot of things don't make sense to me. And I understand, like, if something is presented to you and it doesn't make sense, it's automatically a conspiracy theory. Like, what is a conspiracy theory? Disagreeing with the television. What do I mean by this? Well, they released the chat logs of the guy and the boyfriend. And the chat logs look like a list of incriminating things, like a checkbox. You know, like what clothes he was wearing, the weapon that he used, where the weapon was, the fact that he's the shooter. It was like check, 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 check. And the language that they were using. I don't know, like if you guys read the media and saw like some of the chat logs that they released. Doesn't look like two homosexual teenagers talking to each other. It looks like two police officers undercover, like trying to type a Shakespearean play. And it's so bad that, yeah, like people actually did what I said. They put the thing into ChatGPT. And ChatGPT said, like, this is extremely unlikely to be a normal Discord conversation. Is the shooter technically gay or not? See, now these are the real questions that Jimmy Kimmel could have had on his show. And then he could have actually said that he is joking. Don Petronio, oh my goodness, thank you for the 250 RSDs. I don't think I ever had RSDs before, chat, but now I'm the proud owner of 250. Do you guys have 250 RSDs? No, you don't. Are you going to take Dev talking to you like that? To let Canadians talk like this? Where is your Eastern European pride? Enact Dave of the Rec. You know, I think like this is Artemis Fowl in disguise. I like the RSDs are the only things that are trying to mislead me. Anyway, they use AI to make those, I guess. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Like, look, the whole thing is very dubious to me. This is how I understand it chronologically, okay? I'm not spreading misinformation because I'm telling you literally what's in my brain. So if I describe my brain, it's factual because this is in my mind, okay? So, correct me if I'm wrong, but let's go through the chronology of the event. The FBI releases a picture of a gun that has a scope mounted in a way that you can't shoot. Like, it's mounted poorly. People on the internet call it out, and they say, look, the picture doesn't make any sense, and the FBI withdraws the picture. Now, look, I can understand, you know, usually if you're under an investigation, maybe you don't want to show the actual murder weapon, right? Like maybe you just want to make a statement to the public and you're showing it as a thumbnail. Fine, okay, still a bad idea. It's a bad idea to specifically avoid this. But anyway, they show a picture of a gun that doesn't make sense. They then arrest a guy, which basically has chat logs with their boyfriend, and in the chat logs they say, oh, I saw my gun on television. And it's like, well, hold on a little bit. Like, that's not his gun, right? Like, if that wasn't the original gun, why would the killer then say, oh, I saw my gun on television? Okay, you know what? Maybe his gun looks similar enough, okay? Maybe it's the same model. Maybe it's the same model, and he was scared, he was traumatized, he gets to see it on television, and it's like, oh, fuck, that's my gun, you know, like, he doesn't look at the details, doesn't zoom in. Okay, but then you have, like, another issue, and this one is the most wildest of them all. Like, this is something that I can't explain. When the shooting happens, like, literally seconds after, you have the elderly gentleman that claims that he did it in order to then take the trail of police officers off the shooter's back. How does that make sense? Like, that is fucking wild. And they're charging him, right? Like, this isn't a conspiracy in the sense of, like, I'm making shit up. No, like, they're charging a guy once he saw the assassination and was literally there, is basically saying, oh, I did it, and then he wants to be arrested. And, I understand how to put myself into the shoes of the criminal, to try to think like they think, right? To see if it makes any sense. And I'm like, okay, so I'm at an event, and I'm seeing a shooting, right? Maybe it's a guy I hate. Maybe it's a guy I despise, okay? And there's a shooting. Why would I say I did, like what do I gain? I gain nothing. At best, the guy gets away. But what if the guy doesn't get away? What if the guy gets caught, and then I go to prison? And this is not, surely he must know the law, right? Because admitting to something like that, like admitting that you're impeding an investigation on such a high-profile case, you're never going to see the light of the day again. Like, they're not going to give you a fine. They're going to put you in prison for at least 5 or 6 years. And so, that is the element of this story that makes absolutely no sense to me. This is like the one thing that genuinely baffles my mind. What is with that guy? And apparently people are saying, well, he also appeared when it was 9/11. Okay, so fine, he's an activist. I get it. Maybe he's a foreign agent. Who knows? But why would he ever be at the Charlie Kirk's event and immediately decide to throw the cops off the killer's trail and then admit that that's what he's doing? Right? Like if I was him, I would at least say, look, I'm a crazy person. I don't know what came over me. Or I just wanted the spotlight, or some shit like that, to at least get the minimum sentence, right? You wouldn't admit to the thing so that you get the maximum possible, because now everyone is saying, okay, so you tried to cover up for a murder. But not even that, he has kiddie porn on his phone. Again, see, none of this makes sense, because if he's an agent, if he's literally going there knowing that the shooting will happen, and knowing that he will get arrested, why would he have his kiddie porn phone with him? Nothing of this makes any logical sense. It is so bewildering, every part of the way. And I don't know, can you explain it through incompetence? Maybe Kash Patel doesn't know, it's not that he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's not good enough for the job, right? He's incompetent, he makes mistakes. I guess, but what's up with that guy? Speaking of misinfo, SRC Maker says, my town's Democrat school board members claimed I posted misinformation this week. They wanted additional $70 million. My taxes would go up by $1,000 a year. Jesus fucking Christ. They claimed $300 a year. I had AI calculate the real increase. My side won the vote. Can you come into my town, please? Do you want to move to Romania? Do you want to live where I live? I need people like you. I'm not kidding. This is not a joke. Can you bring, and if you can't, bring your calculator with you. I'd love that. My crazy theory is that Mossad wanted Kirk assassinated and the gay person shot first. How would that look like? Imagine you're Agent 47, right? You're looking through the scope, and before you pull the trigger, bam, someone else does it. And you're like, what the fuck? No, seriously, I wonder, if that actually happened in the course of human history. It must have happened once, right? We have, over 2,000 years of experience. Well, fine, not that much. When's the invention of gunpowder? Actually, you need, the invention of scoped muskets and stuff, right? So, since that happened, since the first scoped musket appeared, all the way up until the present, there must have been a case where you have, an assassin, and he's looking through the scope, and just as he's pulling the trigger, someone else does the assassination. I'm willing to bet, it probably did happen. JDA79 says that democracy is a lie. It is socialism. Voting is not democracy. You don't need democracy to have voting. The founders of America understood implicitly the evils and the very deliberate left it out of the republic. Look, I will tell you something. And this is my conclusion after so many years of doing what I'm doing. It doesn't really matter what form of government you have. Like, you can have democracy, you can have monarchy, you can have socialism. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like, can your side sway the masses? Can you have, and it's not even like 50% of the population, because the masses are more complex. The masses means that, let's say you have your side, which can be like active extremists, like the left has Antifa. Like, Antifa doesn't care about debates. They go and they beat the shit out of you, right? And they smash your businesses, they smash your stores, unless you chant their slogans. So they're not persuading anyone, right? And then they also have, like, the moderate left that tries to get you fired. They try to get you fired from Twitter. They try to get you fired from your job. They try to debank you. They try to tear down your business by getting payment processors canceled, right? So it doesn't really matter who votes and what votes. What matters is, like, how many people do you have on your side in your ideological bubble? How many are in your tribe? How many masses can you move towards you? Now, the thing of moving masses means that it's not about convincing people. It's about putting money. Like, you need to pay people to go out and protest. You need to pay people to actually push your message. You need to pay influencers, right? And so, like, if one side pays and the other side does nothing, the other side loses all the time. And so, when it comes to, like, political systems, whether it's a democracy or whatnot, it's about, like, how many people are part of your cultural movement? I mean, look at the left, right? And I am utterly scarred by seeing that video. It will be in my brain till the day I die. A woman from Chicago gets carjacked. She makes a video on TikTok showing her broken arm. Like, she had her arm broken from getting carjacked, chat. It's fucking insane. And she's basically saying that she doesn't want the red hats in Chicago. She doesn't want Trump's help. She is happy the way she is. And my question, and I don't see right-wingers asking this, how much money did it took? How much money was it pumped into academia? How much money was it pumped into the news, into social media, in order to get that woman to think that way? Like, the school system, the mainstream media, everything, her friends, right? Like, how much money did it require to push onto the cultural machine so that an individual on the ground thinks it's actually okay if they're getting carjacked? Because that's, like, not normal human behavior, right? Like, any other nation, any other place, like, people would be, dude, it's like, I got carjacked, can you please tell the cops? Yeah, the same with Irina Zabreskia, right? Like, how much money was it pumped to create a system where you have a person, like this is what shocked me in the Irina Zabreskia case. It's not just the fact that she got assassinated, but how people reacted to that. Now, I'm not going to blame necessarily the bystanders. A lot of people blame the bystanders because they didn't intervene. Honestly, even if they had, I don't think they could have done something. Like Irina died within a couple of seconds after getting stabbed. Right? So, like, there was nothing that could have been done. I get it, and not to mention, you get the shock. Like not everyone is a hero. Not everyone is built to be the guy that breaks into the burning building and saves the kitten, right? So, like, some people are shocked. They don't want to get stabbed themselves. I get that. But what I don't get is seeing, like, the killer walking around, dripping with blood, with a knife in his hand, and every person in the bus, they're not acting in any way. It's not like I expected them to tackle him, which in a normal nation, maybe, like, some people would. But they weren't even running from him. They weren't even turning his back. Like there were people with his back at him. There were literally people, like, they saw him and they were talking on the phone, see a guy with a knife with blood, they turned the other way and keep talking. And I'm like, how much money was it pumped in order to get society to behave like that? Like, can you imagine the hundreds of millions of dollars required in order to educate and train people to be like that? Anyway, SRC Bakers, sorry V, your chief Johnny told me I'm not allowed to move to Romania because no transgender people allowed. SRC Baker, I want you to teach Zanothium on how to send super chats and bypass, like, and be accepted by YouTube. Because every time he sends me super chats, he complains that they're getting censored. But, like, for some reason, you seem to be able to send super chats that contains words that some may consider slurred. Most people didn't know what happened. Drax, Drax, listen, if you don't know what happened, it means natural selection has failed you. Right? Like in a normal society, if I'm in a train and I see a man twice my size with a knife dripping with blood, I don't need to know what happened. I need to move the fuck away. Right? So, like in that moment, I make an assessment. Am I alone? Am I with my family? How many other people have noticed it? Right? And so, like, if I notice that there's like 4 other people that are going to check the guy, maybe I will go in as well. Otherwise, I move away unless I'm with my family. If I'm with my family, then I position my wife behind me and we back away slowly. If he comes on, then I go in. But, like, you have a couple of seconds to do these assessments that any normal man with an ounce of testosterone should do in their mind without knowing what happened. Like, I don't care, like, maybe the guy fought and he was in self-defense. Maybe he fought a bear in front of the train. Maybe he practiced voodoo magic. I don't give a shit. I see a guy with a knife and blood, I back the fuck away. Right? And if anyone says it's like, well, like, you don't need to know what happened. It's like, no, either you know what happened, and if you don't, natural selection has failed you. Severely. Like, there's no excuse. The thing happened in the back of the bus, and he moved to the front after he stabbed. Yes, I'm telling you. Okay, listen to me, Drax. I don't need to know what happened in the back of the bus. Okay, well, he was there with Rosa Parks, making blood oaths. He was there in the back of the bus, summoning Cthulhu and using blood magic. He stabbed himself. He found a knife. I don't care. I see a guy with a knife dripping with blood. I don't need to know any additional context. Okay? Like, just like in that moment that I see that visage, I back the fuck away. And by the way, I'm willing to bet that if you do this experiment, I'm not encouraging you to, but like if you do this experiment, you take a knife, right? Like a toy knife, and you drip blood on it, okay? Like, not necessarily blood, red paint, okay? On Halloween, do this on Halloween, right? Take a knife, drip it with red paint, and then walk in a bus. And see how people react. I guarantee to you, like, everyone is going to be scared of you. Actually, don't do this, right? Like, don't fucking do this. Probably illegal where you are. But, like, let's be honest. It's a race thing. Well, again, if it's a race thing, then Darwin has failed you severely. Right? Like, you lost the Darwin award. Or actually, you're winning it. No, you're not losing. You're close to winning the Darwin award. He was at Pearl Harbor. The thing is that the left is more outraged over Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled than over Irina and Kirk combined. Well, yeah. By the way, speaking of bears, I have a subscriber from California. I don't know if he's here in the chat right now. But apparently, like, this is a situation. This is an American horror story. I think we can call it like that. Just so you can understand the absolute state of Scat Francisco. So this subscriber of mine... Wait, hold on. I'll clip this so I can give it to him as well. Because it's... Like, maybe some of you can actually have a solution. Because he's going through some serious taco right now. Okay, so this guy lives in Scat Francisco. And apparently a bear walks onto his property and attacks his kids. Now, the bear didn't injure the child. But my understanding is that it pushed the kid down. So the guy gets in, manages to save the child, and then calls the cops. And apparently, like, the cops can't do anything. There's no law. Unless the bear hurts the child, and by hurts, it's like lacerations, broken bones, death, right? Unless that happens, police can't do anything. And so it's like, okay, but like, you're American, right? Can't you get a gun? No. You're not allowed to shoot the bear. Can you trap it? No. You're not allowed to trap the bear. Can you poison it? No, they will do an autopsy. Well, I guess, I mean, right, like, they have the bed on their flag, so I guess the bed can do whatever the fuck they want. But, like, legit question, though, like, if you're in that situation, like, what do? You know, like, most people don't want to go to prison. Like, if you have kids, and you got a bear in your yard, and so your solutions are, I mean, in your mind, you're like, okay, I can shoot the bear and go to prison. I can leave the bear alone, and one day my kids get injured or killed. And if you shoot the bear and go to prison, there's no guarantee that there's not going to be another bear coming around, right? Electric fence the bear. See, that's actually a really great idea. I'll actually shill it to him. But I'm willing to bet that they're going to say, well, it's probably illegal if you electric fence the bear. The reason that I'm actually affected by this, and affected in the way that I understand them, is that I had the same situation in my country. Here, there are a lot of women mentally ill that literally worship feral dogs. Dogs on the streets, they worship, like, in their knees, and they, like, do the whole worshiping thing. And it's not that people can't get rid of the stray dogs. Let me show you a picture so you can understand what I'm talking about, right? So there are places in my country where you actually see this. Hold on. Why can't I find? I'm trying to find something more representative of what can you see. Okay, I think like people will get the idea if I show them this. So imagine this, right? Like, you're walking in a park or you're walking on the street and you see this, right? And this is like a small gang. There are larger. But, like, literally between city blocks, close to restaurants, like, whatever. Now, usually, during the day, they're nice. During the night, however, they're very aggressive. And there have been cases with children getting killed by these things. People getting bitten, elderly people being torn apart, right? Now, it's not like we don't have money to solve the problem, because I guarantee to you, if we teleport all these dogs into Germany, right? The German government, I don't know how, but like, they have a way to make them disappear. I don't know what they do with them. It's German magic, I would guess. But they just, they stop existing. In Romania, however, you have ladies with mental illness. They worship these things. They feed these things, right? They give water to these things. They don't take them in their house. They leave them outside. And then they have, like, animal protection groups. Like, we even have the animal police now. And so, I live in a gated community. Like, ever since COVID, I said, from this day forward, the government is never going to lock me in my house ever again. And so, in a gated community, I can walk and do whatever, and the government can't just say that I'm not on my property, right? And so, anyway, we get one of these things. And it was damaging a lot of stuff. Like, it was damaging people's yards. It was barking at my wife. It was aggressive to my wife. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to call the dog catcher, right? Call the dog catcher. No, they can't come in because it's a private property. Like, I need to solve it. I'm calling a private company. No, we're not coming for just one dog. Like, you need more. It's like, what the fuck do I do? I tried to call for the veterinarian to tranquilize it. Apparently, it's illegal. Unless they bite someone. So it's like, okay, so I need to wait for the dog to bite someone so that then I can call in... What? How does that make sense? Apparently, if you catch him, you're not allowed to move him. Like, if I take him off my property, it's illegal. There was a case with some guy dropping some dogs outside of the city limits. Like, he managed to find, like, some dogs outside of his residential building, which I assume were doing the same thing, like, snarling and barking at people. And it's like, okay, He takes them, puts them outside of town. That's illegal. If you do anything to them, if you hurt them, poison them, illegal. It's like, what the fuck do I do? Do I have to live with them? It's like, yes, but it's not my dog. Like, I'm not against people having a dog in their backyard, right? And taking care of it. This one is not my dog. Like, I want him off my property. Can I do that? No. And so now I understand that my situation is not as bad because I'm, complaining about dogs. My subscriber is complaining about bears. Like, okay. It's not illegal if you don't get caught. That's not the point. It's like, why am I supposed to feel as if I'm trafficking la cocaína every single time a dog comes into my property? Because, like, this is not the only one. Like, I assume there can be more, right? Like, okay, I get rid of this one. What happens when another one comes on? Like, how many times? And by the way, like, I don't want to hurt him. That's another thing, right? Like, it's not I want to do something bad to it. I don't. Because I understand it's not the dog's fault. But, like, I don't want the dog in my house or on my property. That's it. And because of that, it doesn't mean that I have to hurt it. There was a case in Romania in the early 2000s where the son of a wealthy Japanese businessman was taken out by a pack of dogs. He was here to build a factory. Exactly. And it's not the only one. Like, every single 5 years or so, you have another kid dying. Get a bigger dog. Last super chat today, V. I need to go to my appointment to have a laser shot at my face. Well, thank you for the super chats, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. Is fireworks legal? No. Can you scare the dog away? Yes, but it comes back. The worst part is that if the dog wants to, it can be back in a day, even if you get it 100 kilometers away. If I was to, like, legally be allowed to transport it away, I would transport it in a place where it has food, and it wouldn't feel the need to come back. And if it comes back 100 kilometers away, then it means God wants him here. And if God wants him here, like, who the hell am I to disagree? I'll just live with the dog. Government spits out random laws without thought. Well, it's more like politicians get pressured by activist groups, right? And also you have, like, a case from a mentally ill person. Like, let's say you have a case where a guy literally beats up a dog to death. Or there was another case where a person tied a dog to a car and dragged him on the road, right? So you have, like, mentally ill people that everyone agrees, like, what they're doing is cruel, unusual, and retarded. But because of their actions, the government steps in and is basically saying you are not allowed to harm a dog. Which is like, okay, fine, like, it makes sense in theory until you have a dog on your property that's barking at your kids. Like, what are you supposed to do? Right? And so, like, you need to consider the law from many aspects. Because, like, not everyone is a sadistic fuck that just wants to beat up animals. But there are situations in which an animal is asking for it. Such as snarling at your kids. Some types of fertilizers is poisonous to dogs. It helps plants grow. Look, if I want to be Harbert Bosch, I know how to be Harbert Bosch. Like, that's not the problem. The problem is I don't want to hurt the dog, right? But trust me, like, I've done med school. I know how to be the father of poisonous gas and chemical warfare if I was to want to. But, like, I don't. Anyway. Let's look at some of the things that happened this week with the right-wing cancel culture. Trump is going after Antifa. But before talking about that, got some sad news just popped up in my Twitter feed. Apparently, Asmongold's dad has passed away. I do like Asmongold, and I'm sorry to hear that. It is what it is. Unfortunately, all of us have to go through life and see our loved ones pass away because that's how life is, right? Like, all of us are supposed to see our parents die. The other way around is unusual, like the parents seeing the children dying. That's fucked up. I do know how Asmongold feels because, like, I understand he lost his mom. Now he lost his dad, so he feels alone. I also lost a lot of my relatives, and yeah, it sucks. You know, like your entire life you're used to at least having parents and relying on them, but there comes an age, usually by the time you're 50 or 40s, when your parents are no longer there, and it's scary and intimidating, and it makes you feel a lot more lonely, even if you have. I guess like this is the curse of the only child, right? Very few people. Very few people know because like everyone has a brother, a sister, at least here in Romania, right? Like most people that I know have a brother, a sister, a cousin, and so they have someone to call up. They have someone to talk to. They have family. If you're a lonely child, it's really hard. So I hope Asmongold manages to grieve, and I hope that he manages to come back and start streaming again. It's very difficult, I gotta say. Like especially when you lose someone and you know that you still need to make a stream because that's your job. You know, you gotta go back to work. If you don't, the algorithm fucks up. You lose subscribers. It's difficult to recover, and the bills still need to happen, especially when you have a funeral, and it costs a lot in order to have it go up. So you need to put on a happy face for the chat. You need to be entertaining. It's very difficult. It's actually one of the most difficult things that a streamer has to go through. Like if you're a professional streamer, when a family member or someone that you care died, you still gotta put on that face. It was cool how Asmongold would literally just call him in the middle of the stream to correct him on things, and he would actually answer and put him on speaker. I think Asmongold will double down. Defeating the Marxists will be his only mission. He says he does not want family, so what else is going to do? That's kind of silly of him. I'm not going to judge his life choices. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But to say that you don't want family, I mean, look at the state of his place. You know, surely he can find a woman that just wants his money and lives in his apartment. You know, like an open relationship. You should consider like that. That is still like some companionship is better than no companionship. That's my take. Asmongold should take time to mourn. I think he can afford it, but like, let me put it this way, right? Let me put you in the shoes of a content creator, because it's not that I live through it, but I also know people that have the same issue, right? So you're a content creator, it's your job. Like, this is how you make money, right? Like, you need to put food on the table in order to provide for yourself, like pay the bills. Now, let's say that a person that you care about, your mother or your father passes away. Well, all of a sudden, a lot of bills come up. Like a funeral is a very expensive affair. Let's say you take a couple of days off. Well, all of a sudden, the next month, the month that you need money, you're going to end up with a lot less, and you still need to pay the bills and everything like that, and on top of it, you need to pay for the funeral. And then you realize that the algorithm messed with you. So like if you are used to making, I don't know, like $2,000 a month, next month you're making 1,000, and next month you're making 1,250 because like you lost a lot of subscribers that you're not getting back. Because in order to stream, you have to stream consistently. Like the moment you stop streaming, you take a break. Viewers go to other streamers and they don't come back. And so no, it's not that simple. It's like you should still take a break. You can't. Like there's a lot of advantages when you stream, you know, like you get to make your own schedule, you have no boss, it's actually fun, you get a community, you make people laugh. There's a lot of advantages, but one of the disadvantages is that you can't stop. Like you gotta stream. If it's time to stream, you gotta stream. If you don't stream, you're losing your business. Doesn't he have businesses outside of streaming? I don't know. Kirsche is that woman? That would be interesting. I don't know. I don't think like it's a good idea for two streamers to live together. It's not healthy. No. No, he needs a traditional woman. Like the kitchen housewife. That's what he needs. There are still those women out there. Did you hear that the low view numbers might be due to ad blockers? I literally made a video about that, Lazion. How dare you not watch my channel? Were you using ad blocker and that's why you didn't see it? Asmongold lives the way he lives. He lives with humility like a monk. Well, I'm saying like he can still live with humility like a monk and also have like a woman that's in a relationship with him and cleans up his house. Right? Like there's no there's tons of clips with Kirsche, which is crying after Asmongold. Look. It's one thing when you're seeing a streamer, but it's another thing when you're with that person in the house and you get annoyed because this is the 10th time you find like a crate of pizza with cockroaches in it. Like, I'm just saying, it's one thing when you see someone online, and it's another thing when you meet them in real life. That's why they're saying, make sure you never beat your heroes. So, yeah, it's the same thing with long-distance relationships. Like, you see people online and they like each other and they're from different states or whatever. And then when they meet, they can't stand each other. Hello, Octopus XVT. I bet Kirsche is a decent person. She probably is. I'm not saying that Asmongold isn't a decent person. All I'm saying is that two streamers in the same house is bad for business. Because then you have double the trash. Usually, like, and I'm telling you this, like, most streamers don't have time to clean up, right? Like, it's a very time-intensive endeavor. It's not just, like, the time you're streaming, but, like, the preparation for it, the editing of the videos, the concepts, the thumbnails. And you just don't realize when your house just becomes a mess. And now I have two streamers, right? So now you don't just have one, you have two people like that. Plastic bag container done. I never thought about, holy shit, that is, oh my fucking god, that is such a good idea. That is, oh my god, I'm going, that's a life hack, hold on. No, because I thought like I actually have to go all the way downstairs and put it in the bin. But like, what if I have a trash bag? So like, if I sit with the trash bag in my room, wow, Ibian, that's such a, so like instead of a trash bag, I get a plastic bag and I just put them in the, oh. Anyway, right, one place I lived had a huge garbage chute in the hole. Didn't even have to leave the building. Wouldn't that smell like hell, though? It's not a good idea. I will tell you something else that I done. There's actually like 2 life hacks that I discovered. So when I was living alone without my wife, I actually tried to find ways in order to not have to clean. And there were like 2 ways. Also like how I would feed my cat as well, so that I don't have to wash its food tray. You take these plastic these plastic wrappers, right? Not the plastic plate. Like imagine you have a plastic wrapper and you put it on top of a plate and you eat that way, and then when it's done, you just take away the plastic wrapper and you throw it away and the plate is clean. So like that was one way, but then I realized it doesn't look good, it's not that hygienic. And then you just buy plastic plates, right? So like you take the plastic plate, you put the food on it, and then you throw the plastic plate, bam, damn, no more dishes. Same with the cat. Like I would have like paper plates or plastic plates, and I would give food to the cat in the plate. Cat would finish eating, throw it away, done. I have many life hacks like this. Like I was why is it disgusting? Like what? Like if you go to a restaurant, they give you a plastic plate. Oh, you mean like covering the normal plate with plastic? That's disgusting. I agree with you. Like I too found it disgusting. So eventually I just got the plastic plates. It's wasteful. Like look, if I'm making a lot of money, I think I can afford being wasteful. What is it with this idea of not being wasteful? No. If I make more than minimum wage, I want to stop being wasteful. No, I don't eat with my hand. It was like the whole thing is that I had a lot of my time focused on making videos. So like I make 4 videos a day and a live stream, right? That includes editing, that includes studying for like what video subject I'm going to make, that includes uploading the actual stream. And then I also wanted to go out and I wanted to, you know, talk to women and shit. So like I generally didn't have that much time cleaning. And the problem with cleaning is that if you don't do it consistently, you get out of the habit and you get into bad habits, right? So like you see the trash and it mounts up. So I completely understand Asmongold. The thing is, like, with my choices, with my lifestyle hacks, I never had the Asmongold situation where I have like bags of trash. Ever. I had the cat and my house was clean. And yes, Roomba was another choice, right? So I had the Roomba, I had the life hacks. Every time I went out, I took the trash with me. Every single time it was like, if I gotta go, I pick up the trash. And either than that, I would only have to clean like once, maybe twice a week. And that was it. Like my house was clean. It wasn't dirty. Single-use plate, that's not wasteful. You know what's wasteful? A second monitor. Well, yeah, but like here's the thing. The plates weren't that expensive. Like there were deals with like 20 plates. Sorry, not 20, 100 plates. And it was like $2 or something like that, right? Like 100 plates for $2. Like that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. Dishwashers are actually still difficult because like you can't just throw in the like you gotta still open the like look, let me tell you the dishwasher thing versus the plastic plate, right? So you gotta open the door to the garbage. You gotta throw away the waste. And then you still have to like at least clean the plate a little bit. And then you put it into the dishwasher. And you have to set them up in a specific order. Like you can't just throw them in. And then you also have to put the pill, like a detergent pill, into the dishwasher. You gotta make sure that it's filled up with liquid. And then you have to clean the dishwasher every now and then, right? Meanwhile, you get a plastic plate. You open the door to the garbage. You throw the plate in the garbage. That's it. That's it. Yeah, dishwashers are just as energy and time consuming as washing shit by hand. The only exception is when you have like a lot of plates to clean. Like if you haven't cleaned your plates in a couple of weeks and now it's like a mountain of plates, if you have a dishwasher, that's actually better because you go like clang, 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 and then you wash. Wash your plate well enough to put it in the dishwasher and then just put it in the back of the cabinet to use again. Yeah. Anyway, right, chat. I'm going to go and make my videos now. We got a video on Antifa being labeled as a domestic terrorist organization. Actually, I should talk a little bit about that. The journalists are confused. It's like, oh, what can Trump do? It's like, oh, they're disorganized. Like Antifa, they're not organized. So like, they're not a terrorist organization. Like, how can you stop them because they're disorganized, right? Which in my mind was like, wow, like, why don't other terrorist organizations do this if it's so effective? Like, why isn't every single terrorist organization in the world disorganized? Like not having a central command? Because according to the Democrats, right, like in order to be a terrorist organization, you need to have a headquarters, you need to have a logo, you need to have, like, a chain of command. You need to have, like, the guy. Otherwise, the government can't do anything. So, yeah. Listen, this is what they can do. They can seize assets. Like, if a Sunpiker goes on a stream and says he's Antifa, they can investigate him. They can seize his assets. They can... Literally what they do to terrorists, right? Like, that's what it means. Like, you're no different than Al-Qaeda. Like, if the government is to label you a terrorist organization... then you're exactly the same as any other terrorist organization. So, like, your funds can be frozen. There are certain measures that the government can take against you. They can crack down on you. Pretty much the same way that the government has cracked down on the January 6th individuals or that they did to QAnon or other organizations, right? Anyway, let me know what you think. I'll see you in the comment section. Don't forget to set your watches tomorrow, 1 hour before now, right? So like 1 hour before now, tomorrow I'll be streaming. If you set your watches, I'll be there. And I'll see you guys in the comments.